Hey everyone, so I picked up Control again in the Steam sale because it's an awesome game and I really wanted to play this properly on the OLED Steam Deck, which is on the right hand side here. So I thought I'd have a look at the performance across the Legion Go, ROG Ally and the new Steam Deck OLED model. Now for this I'm running the low preset with motion blur and full grain off because we really are struggling with this one. It's quite a hit on the performance that I didn't expect. As you can see here with the Legion Go, 1200p is just about possible at custom 30 watt mode, but you are only going to be pushing it around 30 to 35 frames per second. That's not too bad, at least it's staying above that 30 mark, and 1200p does look absolutely phenomenal on the Legion Go screen, but it does make it a little bit less optimal. Now if we switch down to 800p on the Legion Go, surprisingly, and it was actually by accident that I was running this on the performance at 20 watts, but this does manage to 50 to 60 frames per second at that 20 watt mode. Now if you put that custom 30 watt mode on, you're going to be able to run this at good 70 plus frames per second, but I actually thought this was the 30 watt mode initially, so I'm actually quite impressed at how good this is running at 20 watts. So the ROG Ally, I always run it at 900p now with the CPU boost disabled, because 900p is just the sweet spot on the ROG Ally. But even with the 30 watt turbo mode going, you can see that we are only getting it around 30 to 40 frames per second, which is around 15 to 20 frames per second less than the Legion Go, which I was really surprised at. Even with the 20 watt mode on the Legion Go, this is pumping out a good 10 to 20 frames per second more. This was a big surprise to me because the ROG Ally did feel a bit smoother. That variable refresh rate on the ROG Ally really does cover up a lot of sins on the ROG Ally screen, well, that lower frames per second, but it is still performing very well. On the performance mode on the ROG Ally, it only dropped a few frames, so if you are on battery, you can still push that 25 watt range, but I'm still surprised that it wasn't capable of hitting 60 even with that 30 watt mode at 900p. Now you can drop it down to 720, but things do start getting a bit grainy and a bit blurry, hence I say the 900p is the sweet spot. Now if you haven't tried it, give it a go because 900p really does look good on the ROG Ally, and that variable refresh rate does make up for some of those lower frame rates. Now one of the big surprises with this is when I ran this on the Steam Deck OLED, not only do you have the option of turning ray tracing on, which you don't have on the other two. Don't try it by the way, it absolutely kills your frame rate and it won't give you over 30 frames per second. You'll see that on the Steam Deck OLED here, we're actually pushing 40 to 50 frames per second. This is keeping up with the Legion Go. I know that this is both running 800p. A little bit of a surprise on the TDP, as you'll see when I come full screen on the OLED Steam Deck here. But with the 20 watt mode on the Legion Go is still just a little bit outperforming, which is extremely good going. Now I don't know what the Go is doing under the hood, but with the beta BIOS it's certainly doing incredibly well, especially as it's not on the latest AMD drivers yet. As we come to the OLED Steam Deck full screen though, you'll see that it was actually pushing around 22 watts, but with all of this absolute mayhem gameplay going on, it's still pushing 40 to 50 frames per second. So the OLED Steam Deck is performing exceptionally well, and I must admit the OLED screen does look phenomenal. But there's something about the Legion Go screen that just seems to be very close to that, but it is still a little bit disappointing that we can't run 40 to 50 frames per second on the go at that 1200p mode. Although it is looking still very good at 800p, I would prefer to run it at that 1200 mode. But if you are looking to play Control on any of these three devices, you are going to have a good time. So hopefully you picked it up in the sale, or you can pick it up and play on the Epic Games Store. Let us know if you're going to be diving into this one and what do you think of the performance across these devices. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.